A very good morning to all the viewers who are with us today for this webinar for Breastfeeding Week in the year 2024. So, we have started the Breastfeeding Awareness Week with the speech from the day of 1 of August. So, today we have reached the 5th of August and we have with us Dr. Arya Raghu, lecturer, the Department of Anatomy, who will be enlightening us regarding from the topic on from surplus to solution, the role of milk bank introducing infant mortality. So let us hear more insights from our doctor. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Kriti, for your warm welcome. So I'm here to brief you all about the very important topic, that is the role of milk bank in reducing the infant mortality. That is from surplus to solution. Surplus in the sense when there is an excess milk production, we can give a solution to the people who are insufficient of milk, especially the neonatals. Okay. So the breastfeeding is the best method of the infant feeding. As you all know, human milk is also called as the liquid gold, which is one of the best method for the feeding of infants, and which is tailor-made. That is, it is made especially for the design of the infants and uniquely suited for the human infants. So the PDHM, that is pasturated donor of human milk, is very, very essential to the infants who have insufficient milk supply. That is, in our country, the burden of high-risk newborns in various hospitals is about 20%, which is significant mortality and morbidity. Mortality in the sense the death of the infants, and morbidity in the sense the disease which occurs in the infants due to the insufficient supply of milk. Next slide. So, what is the process of pasteurization of breast milk? So, the person who donates the breast milk, the milk is then pasteurized using the Holder method of pasteurization. That is, the milk is heated to a degree of 62.5 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. This pasteurization process kills bacteria, CMV, and other viruses which are still preserving the immunological property which is unique to the human milk. The macronutrients are also unchanged during the pasteurization. So pasteurization will not affect the quality of the milk that we donate to the infants. So what is a human milk bank? So you all know what is a human milk bank. It is a bank which is a service provided by the hospitals and nursing homes where the breast milk is collected, screened, and stored. The milk is donated by the healthy lactating mothers who are willingly donating the milk. The milk plays a vital role in meeting the nutritional supplements of the babies. Some people consider this milk no less than liquid gold, as it contains all the essential nutrients which are required for the newborn baby's growth as well as the development. If you look up to the history, the first milk bank in Asia was under the name of Sneha, founded by Armeda Fernandez, who first started it in Dharavi, Mumbai on November 27, 1987. So this was the first milk bank in Asia. So where should be the location of a milk bank? So milk bank should be primarily focused to provide the donor milk to high-risk newborn admitted in the neonatal units. So therefore, the location must be close or proximity or even inside the boundaries of the neonatal unit is desirable. Next. How we can connect the breast milk? we should properly give counseling to the donor mothers and check the suitability for the donation. I will explain the suitability in later slides. And you should get a written consent, informed consent. So the consent will be containing the proper information and guidelines regarding the donation. That is, many mothers think that if I donate the milk, the milk will be insufficient for my own baby. That is not the fact. How much the mother donates, it is equally proportionate that the milk production will be increased as much as the donation of the milk, mother's milk. There is as much of production in the breast milk, so it will not affect the uh, um, affect their own babies. So we should clearly counsel the mothers who are going to donate the milk. Then we should take the history of the mother, that will also be explained in the next upcoming slides. And we should physical examination of the donor and sample the laboratory tests, and the donor is sent to the designated breast milk collection area in the milk bank or in the milk collection centers. Next slide. So the factors which are responsible for feeding an infant with donated milk, breast milk are, so donation of breast milk needs some factors, right? So the factors are like if the mother is having very low milk production, so that the baby will be suffering from insufficient milk supply. So we can donate to such infants. Second, when the mother has undergone double mastectomy due to some health issues like cancers. So obviously the mother cannot feed the baby, right? So such infants can be benefited through this breast milk bank. Then the mothers who are undergoing treatments or medications like chemotherapy, radiotherapy, etc., cannot feed the babies. And who is having severe infectious disease, especially due to sexually transmitted diseases like syphilis and other diseases like hepatitis, cannot uh, breastfeed their own baby. So such babies will be suffering from insufficient milk supply. So we can provide them also. Then when the mother is having some diseases related to the glandular tissues, so there are glands in the mammary gland which produce milk. So when the mother is having any diseases related to these glands, will face difficulty in producing the milk. So such mothers will have difficulty in feeding the babies, right? So such babies will be benefited from these milk banks. Next. So when you are planning or when a person is planning for donating the milk, what is the main criteria we have to look into? First one is we have to test the mother whether they are having the VDRL test positive or negative. That is venerable disease research laboratory, that is especially syphilis, which is a sexually transmitted disease, and whether the mother is having HIV, and if the mother is having a hepatitis or not. These tests should be done prior to collecting the breast milk, so that the infants who are receiving these breast milks will not get affected. Next. So I have listed some of the important milk banks in India, like it is in Rajasthan, Mumbai, Pune, Kolkata, Chennai, Mumbai, New Delhi, Mumbai, etc. Okay. So what should be the priority? So PDHM, that is pastured donor human milk, should be prescribed for babies, especially who are preterm babies, especially before 7 months preterm, like that. Then sick babies and the babies of mothers with postpartum illness, And the mothers who have a lactation failure, that is, they have very, very low milk production or any diseases related to milk production that we have already discussed. So, what are the benefits that an infant can get by this milk donation? So, infants who did not get sufficient human milk will be suffering from some of the major health issues like short gut syndrome, then sepsis, then bowel obstruction, intestinal fistula, and mainly a disease called necrotizing enterocolitis, which is called as NEC, which can be seen in many of the infants. Next slide. So it is a life-threatening illness. So necrotizing enterocolitis is a life-threatening illness. Almost exclusively, it will be affecting the neonatals with mortality rate as high as 50%. So in this disease, when we see pathophysiologically, there will be an inflammation in the intestine, which will lead to the bacterial invasion and causing the cellular damage and cellular death. And there will be necrosis in the colon and the intestine, which is most responsible for the 50% of the death in infants. So by donating the breast milk, these infants can be benefited. Next. So if PDHM supplies are sufficient, the milk may be supplied for the categories as follows. So when a mother is having multiple births, like triplets or twins, etc., the mother will not have adequate amount of breast milk, right? So that initially for these kinds of neonatals, we can provide breast milk through these banks. Then for babies who are non-lactating mothers, that is, the babies who are just abandoned or who are adopted newly, so such babies will not have that exposure to mother milks, right? So such babies will be benefited through this milk banks. Then sick neonatals who are very sick, sick neonatals usually needs frequent feeding and n number of supplies so that they can easily recover from their diseases. Next slide. When they have temporary interruptions of breastfeeding, and if the biological mother is having higher risk from breast milk, like if she is suffering from cancer and if she is taking chemotherapy, hepatitis, HIV, such mothers will be benefited with these banks. And especially we can see n number of mothers are facing mortality immediately after the postpartum period. So such babies are abundant, right? So such babies can also get benefited with this milk banks. So according to me, it is very clear that artificial formula milks. So artificial formula milks cannot fulfill the entire need of the infants. So you already know that 6 months of breastfeeding, which is exclusive, we don't even give water to the babies till 6 months. So the babies will be fully depending upon the mother's milk only. So mother's milk has all the immunoglobulins and antibodies which can fight against n number of diseases that a baby is going to face. So when this artificial or formulated milks are given, these babies have very low immunity towards the infection. So artificial formula milks will never provide a broad range of benefits of human milk, actual human milk. So given the high rate of preterm babies in our country, especially in India, we can see n number of preterm births in our country, and there are very high level of malnutrition that we can see in the postnatal growth in babies after birth. So there is very, very urgent need to establish milk banks as much as possible, as n number of milk banks is necessary to fulfill these needs, especially in India. Uh, and especially in the large neonatal units of all the hospital. It should be mandatory that all the hospital which are undergoing deliveries and children health pediatrics should must have these kind of milk banks. Next slide. So what we can do from our side? So to effectively implement human milk banks, especially in India, we need a collaborative approach involving the government. Government must take some immediate actions to provide milk banks in each and every districts of India. The healthcare professionals and public awareness is also very much crucial regarding this. The government must take a proactive role by formulating policies and allocating funds and establishing regulatory framework to ensure the safe and efficient operations of these banks. Additionally, healthcare professionals, including doctors, nurses, not only doctors and nurses, the people who are in this medical field, students and physiotherapists and other doctors can also give a hand in this. If they can also play a critical role in identifying the potential donors. So the main risk in this milk bank is that we need to identify the donor. Why? Because many n number of mothers are actually tired of feeding and they don't have that awareness that we donating some amount of breast milk can save a life. So this awareness should be given among the mothers. We have to educate the mothers. So only the health work peoples like doctors, nurses, and students regarding this field can do this very effectively. And we must educate the mothers about the benefits of the human milk. So public awareness is also very important. Why? Because the family support for the mother is very essential when she decides to donate her breast milk. So campaigns are vital to inform and engage the community, dispelling the myths. So that is there is a myth that if I donate the milk, I will not have sufficient milk for my babies, or I may become very weak and I'm losing so much of calories, so that I will not have that strength to withstand these postpartum periods. So these are totally a myth. So we have to really educate the mothers and encourage them to donate the breast milk. And we have to encourage them. Then we can utilize the mass media, social media, and the community outreach programs, which can help spread awareness about the importance of the human milk banks. Therefore, fostering a culture of support and collaboration for this life-saving initiative. So I request every one of the viewers to spread this news as much as possible so that people will get aware about the milk banks and the mothers will not have that hesitation to donate the milk. So thank you for patient watching. Hope this was a useful session. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Arya. Thank you. Your presentation was so informative and engaging. So thank you for giving us the information regarding identification of what are the causes that can lead to infant mortality and what are the possible ways we can address them, especially by approaching the milk bank, which is situated across India. And also thankful for decoding the myths which is related to the donation of mother's milk. So thank you so much for this special information. So all the viewers who are with us today, stay tuned for upcoming two more talks on breastfeeding awareness. That's all for today. Thank you all.